thanking, Brad, Dan, and Sheila, my beautiful family, my beautiful wife. I wouldn't be here without, any of those guys. And thank God, this is a blessing for me. It's amazing to be able to be back here. I'm blessed to be back here. This is where I wanted to be. When it came down to it, I was telling my agent, like, I wanted to go back home. I want to be in Detroit. That's where I belong. And we're building something great, and we're continuing to build something great, and I want to be a part of it. So, yeah.
On that a little bit. I mean, Aaron Glenn's obviously in New York, Terrell's in England. You had some other opportunities, I'm sure. Just why was this the place that you wanted?
I just feel like there's unfinished work, unfinished business here to do. We didn't make it as far as we wanted to last year, but, years to come of great football and to get what we really want, and we all know what that is. And it's just, my teammates, the coaches, the culture that we built here, from the training staff to the strength and conditioning staff to the people upstairs. I feel like everything is put together, and I don't think you can find it in other places. Like I said, again, we're building something great here, and I want to be a part of that. So,
one of your biggest advocates in this organization has been Shep. To see him go to that DC role, how impactful was that in you wanting to be back here?
Oh man, it's amazing. But I mean, like you all know, like we seen that coming with him. Passionate about the game, love the players, care about the players. That's one of the most important things. And the best thing I love about him is how passionate he is about getting players better and putting them in the right position to be successful. And that was a big part of my decision of coming back to Detroit. He is a guy that anybody would want to play for. Him being a DC, I'm pretty sure every guy here is going to buy into what he wants, and he's, like I say, super passionate about what he does. He loves the game, and why not want to go play for a coach like that? And he has those characteristics of Dan. We see how Dan is on the field and the way he loves the players, and he can put his player hat on when he wants to, when he needs to, especially. And I think that Shep does the same thing. And man, I'm just surrounded by a good group of coaches, great group of guys, and there's no way I would want that anywhere else. So,
how you doing physically? One, and number two, where do you see the next progression of your game? Where do you want to grow?
I'm good physically. I'm good. My knee's good. I finally get to. After this free agency thing, I get to kind of, take a deep breath and go out to Tampa and start training. As far as my game, I mean, we seen a little glance of what I was becoming, and for 3 weeks, and I just think there's a lot more to come. Knowledge of the game, even physically, I feel like I'm taking a step with that also. And kind of just playing a little bit more of a leadership role. I'm kind of older now, going to year 5. It's crazy to think about. Young guys coming around, you have, young DBs and young players that's come around. They kind of help and guide them, because I know what it's like to come in and kind of feel like you don't know what's going on, and kind of you get your feet wet a little bit. But, no, I would definitely say just the key things, just leadership and being the best player I can be, and doing the thing that my coaches need me to do in order for us to get where we want to go. So.
You mentioned the leadership thing. Just how important is it, especially with Shep taking over, just to have Alex back at the wheel? Jack at the mic and you at the Sam, kind of that bridge, that linebacker part, that bridge there. How important is that kind of moving forward to have that aspect back?
It's like that makes me super excited. I mean, we all seen what the three of us on the field could do and what it looks like. And I'm just super excited to have that again. We had something great going before, obviously, all the injuries and stuff like that. And it's just amazing to see the kind of the pieces and the bits of what Shep has, ready for us when it comes to us three. He thinks highly of us, and the fact that we've been around him for multiple years, it's kind of like, we can go to him and be like, hey, I think this will work, or we're not feeling this, and he opens that up to us. So, that's what makes me excited, that we can go to our coach and kind of give him ideas of what we think, and continue that leadership with all three of us, because we are starting to become an older bunch now, which is great. Obviously, got a few young players, but the fact that we are starting to become veterans, it for sure helps our defense and our team. So.
How much pride do you take? You're the latest of that first draft class under Holmes and Campbell to get an extension. I mean, you talk about what's been built here. I mean, you were on the foundation of that. How much pride do you take in that group, being the latest?
Oh, man. It's really it's amazing to see how much Dan and Brad and them care about us. I know Brad mentions all the time. He really believes in his draft class and believe how he drafts and the guys he brings in. Like every guy that ever came in here, like we're all just driven the same way. And I take pride that they look at me as one of those type of guys, a guy that wants to come here and work and win and put his head down, whether it's good or bad, and continue to work. So I take a lot of pride in that for sure.
Derrick, kind of referenced it, but do you feel like you were playing like the best ball of your career last season, and what allowed you to kind of take that leap in the first 3 games?
I would just say putting everything together, putting all the pieces together, physically, mentally, and more comfortable. Like, the game just really slowed down for me, and it felt good to be out there, not super nervous, not worried about mistakes, and just going out there and playing ball. I feel like my best football is yet to come. I feel like even if I'd have played through this whole season, that this year coming up, it would have been another step of progress. But I'm just super excited, and I think that's another reason why they love me here is because just the steps I've taken every year, and I'll continue to do that. And so,
Derrick, with the timing of the injury, how fortunate do you feel to be able to still get this contract? Was there a feeling of wrong place, wrong time when it happened, and you knew you had this coming up?
As far as the injury itself, or I would say, I say things happen, and it makes me feel good once again that in spite of my injury and kind of. And all that situation, I feel like they still had a lot of faith in me that I could be the player that they know I can be, and I give all the praise to them because it's amazing to see. Like I honestly, I wouldn't say shocking to me because I think that I put enough work in and put enough film out there to show what I can be. But the fact that they had that faith in me, that to be able to pay me that amount of money coming off this injury is amazing to me, and it's emotional because I know like a lot of people don't get this opportunity, especially come off of knee injuries. But the fact that, Dan and Brad and them put me in a position to be able to come out and have confidence in me so I can have confidence in myself means the world to me. So.
Dan and spoke to Brad on different occasions, but just from a player perspective, they both said they feel like the Super Bowl window is still open for this team. How do you all feel, man, especially knowing so many guys was injured last year? Do you feel like that Super Bowl window is still open for the squad?
100%. I had never left. And I don't think we ever will leave. This is a winning program now. Like, we've changed things. Like I said, we built a culture where, honestly, probably going to the playoffs is not going to be enough for us. Like, and we need to be in the dance. And that's what it is. And anybody who ever think, that's why we let the outsiders think what they want to think, but we know who we are. We know what we're capable of doing. And we do. That window is definitely still open. And I'm super excited to be a part of it. So.
You're back. Obviously, Marcus is back. There's a whole lot of starters back from last year. Whatever happens in free agency happens, I guess. But some people have talked about, hey, it looks like the Lions are running it back. I mean, had you guys not had those injuries last year, we thought about what it might have looked like, and just the concept of, hey, running it back with so many of the people that helped you get the team this year.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you always think of what could happen, what should, like. Things happen for a reason, I believe so. And I believe that was just like a wake-up call for us. And there's a lot of things that each and every one probably can improve of doing. But, man, the guys gave it their all last year. It was amazing to sit there and watch them just continue to fight. Injuries, not injuries, but we continue to be the same team. And didn't get how far we wanted to go, but we did. It was an amazing season last year. And I'm just super excited to see what this year brings, especially with all the guys healthy. And hopefully that injury thing doesn't happen again. But and I pray that it doesn't. But man, I feel like when we're a healthy team that we're unstoppable, and I think that we can beat any team in this league, and we've proven that. So, 100%, definitely let's run it back for sure. That's exactly what I said when I came back into the office to talk to Dan and Shep. I was like, let's run it back. So yeah.
Derrick, you mentioned already a little bit the evolving schematic role, right? Like you spent more time on the front last year compared to maybe in previous years. There aren't a lot of linebackers that kind of have that ratio, that 2/3, 1/3 on ball, off ball. Do you foresee that kind of being the way you continue to be used here?
Yeah, I love it. To be able to move around and be able to be a huge key point to this defense means a lot to me. That means that the people upstairs and Shep and them have a lot of confidence in my ability and what I can do. I've done everything in college, done everything in NFL. It helps you see the field from a different perspective. Being on the line of scrimmage, being step back, being in coverage, pass rushing, doing all those things. That definitely helped my game when it comes to the IQ of the game and knowing what's going on around the field. Because I feel like as a player, and especially as a linebacker, if you know what's going on around the field, it only does nothing but elevate your game. So like, I love it. I love being that piece, that move around piece on the field. So.
What class? When did you understand? Like, I know it was your rookie season coming in. That like this class is special. Or was it a specific thing that happened, or like when did you realize as a player like these guys they built a little different in that class?
From the jump. I mean, just the way all of us compete. We used to have conversations. I remember, it's funny you say that because me and Lane used to have conversations like, man, like, obviously we talked a little bit about second contracts and stuff, but we was like, man, it's going to take a long time to get to 4 years. But no, we always sort of said we're going to grind it out and be able to get to that point and be able to get blessed like this. Those group of guys are amazing, from Saint to Panay to like Iffy, Levi, Aleem, me, like Jamar. And I hope I'm not leaving nobody out. I said everybody right. No, just a great group of guys who like to compete, and we compete each and every year. And I just love it, man. I love how passionate we are about the game in each and every aspect of it. It's amazing to see, and the fact that, we could, I don't want to speak too soon, but the fact that we all can be back together and run it back again means a lot. And that just shows how much, Dan and Brad cares about our class, and how much I kind of feel like we were that stepping stone when they first got in here. Like, I mean, of course, we were their first draft class, so it's like it's building that culture together. It means a lot to us. So I'm super excited to see where it takes us. So.
What did you learn about yourself? I was going to say, what did you learn about yourself throughout going through the rehab process and the tough time with the injury?
I understand why Tom Brady didn't want to retire. I'll tell you that. Man, it really made me appreciate the game a lot more. Appreciate all the opportunities that I have and that are given to me, that's for sure. And definitely respecting the process. It was a lot of, at the beginning was a lot of doubt about myself. Am I going to be the same player? And, kind of just, spoke to a bunch of guys. Alex, I got a cousin that used to play in the NFL, and just like, how did you get over something like this? And obviously talking to Coach Pugh and kind of bringing my faith back into play. And it was just a crazy process, but it all ended up working out. I had a great support group. My wife was sitting there pushing me the whole time and telling me that everything's going to be great, and it is. And, I'm cleared. My knee feels good. I feel good. I get to come back and play for the best city in the world. So, no, everything's great, and like I said, I learned a lot through that process, and it made me become a better man, for sure.
I got a question. I love this fit. Obviously, I love it.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
People voice some frustration in the snack room, in the linebacker room. Could that be a change this year now? Since you go from the back?
Malcolm Rodrigo will always be on snack duty from now on for that comment. But no, thanks for the question, Malcolm. I guess I'll be buying the snacks if that's what you're saying.
How about water? You're a big, water people here. What kind of water could we expect in that room?
Spring water, for sure. What's the water? Eternal water. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I don't know if I can say that. I don't want to shout any brands and get in trouble around here. So, appreciate you guys. Thank you. Yeah, I'm out. Please. OTAs, camp, I'll be good.